Hey all, Stephen GuitarNiche here. We have a 2013 US made Strat on the bench, in for a bit of work, a new nut and some electronics. The reason for this video is a fret dress, a real quick one. So I'm going to try to expedite this, but I'm going to explain why. Because if you watched any of my other videos, you might hear me going on about being very conservative about preserving frets and stuff like that. And you can see there's a minimum amount of fret wear, but it's becoming problematic. It's starting to buzz. It's making some noises that we're not comfortable with. As you know, single coils tend to not be kind to, some of those transients and definitive sounds in the upper register. So we are going to take care of it. Okay, anyway, we are going to take off the tuners. The next jobby is truing up the neck. That's beautiful. Just like that. That didn't take long. Just a habit of mine. I like to double check the radius just to make sure that we are what we say we are. Of course, it is what it is. So I'm okay with that. On to the business of getting this thing dressed out. I would say there's easily 85+% of the fret remaining. In other words, there's, maybe, I would even go so far as to say 12 or 13% wear, which is pretty minimal. They always look worse than they are, but as I said, this particular instrument seems to be a little fussy. Get my double checking tools out. That's good. Good. I'm looking for anything that seems to be a knocky knock or out of the ordinary. Not a whole lot of wear up here, so not too worried about that. Anyway, so I got my file. I know the neck is good to go. I'm just gonna have at it. One thing I'll say right away. Do you see a leveling beam? No. Do I use a leveling beam? Once in a blue moon if I feel it's absolutely necessary. I use tools the way I've been using them for decades. The leveling beams are awesome, but I prefer to do this way because I depend a lot on visual and tactile feedback. It's just the way it works for me. It's not the only way, it's just my way. By the way, this particular file has a tip to it, which works to my advantage. No magic marker, no bluing, no monkey business of any kind. Like I said, this is a real quick job. What I see coming off the frets is my telltale. As long as the amount of material is even across the top of the fret, we're talking like a thou or two, like at a time. Now, when I'm spending time up here, I'm accommodating the tilt in that file. That looks good. There's always that third string, second fret notch. It's a bastard. Anyway, and another thing you got to take into consideration, the wear that you're going to see around, this middle stretch of the neck here, middle strings. That's automatically flat because that's where a lot of people are going to be doing bending. And if they're a little bit better player, they're going to be doing a lot of bending up here, and you're going to get flat spots up here. So we keep that in mind as we level the frets. Okay, you can see as I work it, I'm working more towards the outside, less so in the middle. I'm hitting just about everything here. I know it's hard, you can't see it from your point of view, but as long as I hit the tops of the frets, it's all good. One thing I'll mention is whenever possible, I try to introduce, I'll take out a little bit more material on the bass side and leave the treble side as straight as I possibly can. These are things that help the strings to actually do their job, which is vibrate without issue. The other thing I'll mention is that as the frets heat up, they start to give you a different type of feedback. You have to consider that too. It's hard to explain some of this stuff because it's very, very, very tactile by nature. In the way I do it, you know. As I said, I'm being a little bit more conservative on the treble side because I want to keep that as straight as possible. A little bit more meat coming off the bass side. A little bit of a divot left on the second fret of at the G string, and its compatriot, the 7th fret of the G string. It's always the G string, that blasted G string. Now I'm going to leave those notches there because this is, unless I have to come back to that, I'm not going to, because I'm going to go right into my finishing file and see if I can't get everything together. So what this does, again, this is a flat, actually this is a single cut file with a tip in it, very slight tip, which I use when I can't take a nut off. This comes in real handy. Some instruments have a natural tip, Takamine especially, at the end, and this helps to accommodate it. Beauty. Okay, so like there's not a whole lot going on up here that I'm worried about, so I'm not spending a whole lot of time up there. Well, while I'm here, let's make sure we're not deforming the radius of the frets too much. If anything, that's good. Oh, that's useless up there because I'm not really doing anything up there. Okay, that's good. Beauty. I'm going to leave just a hair. Beauty. This one will be gone. This one will, it should disappear. It should disappear, yeah. Okay. Oh, where do we go from here? Now that all of the children have grown up. Okay, name that tune. I'm letting the neck cool a little bit. And now I'm gonna do this. Okay. It's just the way I do things, okay? Now we see what happens. That's a beautiful thing. This file is skating. There's a little bit of resistance up here though. Let that cool again. That's a beautiful thing right there. There's no resistance. I don't feel any irregularities in the neck whatsoever. When I'm using this, it just skates along, and I know it is good to go. Next step, crown. So we get out our handy dandy file card, a couple of our favorite dressing files. Let's see how quickly we can get through this. And once again, no marker, no nothing fancy, because to begin with, it didn't really take off a whole lot of material. So this is pretty minimal. Well, that's a really coarse file. I believe both of these are Hosco products. All parts about 20, oh geez, at least 22 years ago. And this one was at the shop I started at, and I inherited it, modified it a little bit. But I've seen a handle on something else, the name escapes me. And it's a longer throw. And because it's older, it has a different type of cut. Mind you, it still cuts like crazy. But because it's being used so much, it tends to burnish a little bit at the same time. That's a wonderful thing. Okay. Now I'm gonna bounce to the upper end here. It's just the way I work. I start here. Start on the first, second frets, sometimes 3. See how the process is gonna go, and then I'll migrate to the body. Sometimes I'll take the neck off. It depends on the job. Sometimes I leave it on. Here, I'll share with you another tip, okay? If I just hit that with a finger, now there's going to be a coat of finger cheese on that. Maybe you know, eat a bucket of chicken or something beforehand. But all kidding aside, that little bit of finger oil will discolor the fret a little bit. As I hit the fret, I can use that as a secondary gauge. Put it this way, it's like a natural magic marker. Works like a champ. Okay, so I'm just going to take this and really lightly I'm just trying to get over the bump. That's that. Now, what are we going to do next? We are going to hit this with a detergent to lift the surface junk. Pretty good. Okay. And now one of my favorite tools, the old brass bristle brush. At this point we're going to see the fretboard is like it's almost dry right now, but this is going to give it a quick burnish. Yeah, a little bit of dirt came off, that's nice. But already, if you can get a look at this, what does it look like right now? A good ways there. It's got a dull shine to it. Okay. And that was just 600 and the brass bristle brush. Now, once again, I'll make a point. This is my process. It's not the only way, as you would, as you know. I really do prefer to do things by hand, which leads me to the next step. I have a collection of micro mesh pads here, 1,500. So I'm going from 1,500 to, let's see, 36. Okay, 36. Beautiful thing. Okay, so that's that. And from 36, we'll go to 8,000. Time on the video says about 50, almost 54 minutes. Of course, this will all be edited and stuff like that, but so fret dress in under an hour. Not too bad. What do we see? A bit of a beauty shot here. Yeah. They're all short and briny, as I like to say. But here's the thing, I'll take, let's say the 12th fret. Comparatively speaking, if I just run my finger across that, you watch. Now that will have a slightly different look than the other frets. And that's what's going to happen as soon as you start playing. Ring, 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 ring. Like even just running my fingers along the frets, the finger oils, they destroy any of that super high polish. So a really fine polish is not necessarily all it's cracked up to be. Being able to push a string along a high polished surface certainly does make a lot of sense. Absolutely, no argument about that. But the debris and the activity of the strings on the frets and stuff like that, it kind of it destroys the original purpose fairly quickly. Maybe less so with stainless. Stainless is longer lasting. It's harder. The jury is still out on that one as far as I'm concerned. I like it. Don't get me wrong. Take a couple of drops of my favorite oil. Hit that bad boy. See, now we got all that nice high polish. By the way, if you're paying attention, no power tools, all by hand. Under an hour. Okay. Now that we hit that with a little bit of oil, any high polish that you did have is now under a layer of oil. So there's all that to say hello to. Good. As long as it's not coming up ugly, it's all good. There you have it. Okay, so the time now in this video before editing is 57 and change, 57 minutes. So we have a relatively shiny level and recrown and polish in under an hour. My name is Steve. This is GuitarNiche. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching. As always, play loud, have fun, have a great day. Read the description below. Lots of nice free resources and stuff down there. Okay? And have a great guitar day. Cheers. See ya.